In Chinese, the number 4 is considered unlucky because the words for four and the words for death sound very similar to one another. Four is pronounced si, and death is pronounced si. When I was a kid, I had downloaded this computer pinball program. I was playing, and the way you launch the ball is you press the down key a certain number of times, and then you press the space bar. I think the program was written in QBasic. And it was very deterministic, though. The number of times you pressed the down button before pressing the space bar pretty much determined where the ball was going to go on that initial launch. And I remember that I think you had to hit it 5 times for it to hit a lot of score at the beginning of the game. I wish I could find that if it will even run anymore. I wish I could find that program again. But 5 was a very good caused the ball to go in a very nice pattern. But one time I accidentally pressed the down button 4 times, and when you launch the ball after 4 presses of the down arrow, it caused the ball to instantly drain. And I was telling my dad about this, and he said, "Well, of course, because 4 is death." We were speaking in Chinese, and I couldn't believe him. I thought he made that up on the spot. So the following day, I used to go to a Chinese school every Sunday to take lessons on writing and Chinese characters. And I asked my Chinese school teacher, "Is that true? Is 4 unlucky because it sounds like death?" We were in front of other students, and I think the teacher didn't want to scare the other students. And he just said he never heard about it and quickly changed the topic. And I think, in my mind, he kind of acknowledged that it was. He just didn't want to talk about it. So that was the first time I ever learned that 4 sounds like death. I learned how to play backgammon 7 years ago, and my first time at a tournament, it was a beginner's division, and I got really unlucky with the dice on one game. I was about to get gammoned. I apologize if you don't play backgammon, but I was about to get gammon, which would cause me to lose 2 points, and I was trying to avoid that by bearing off my one of my checkers. And I had checkers on all of the home points except for 4, so only double 4 would cause me to miss being able to bear something off. And I rolled a double 4! And, oh well, I think I had just learned how to play backgammon, like literally hours before that first tournament that I went to, and I got second to last place, if I remember correctly. I did beat somebody there. Can't remember the skill level of whoever I beat, but it was my first tournament, and I'm pleased. Now, this year, Easter was on April 4th, which I've always called Death Day, because 4-4, right? And I'm looking at a chart of COVID-19 deaths worldwide. And look what happens on April 4th. I don't know how they measure this, though, because it only goes up to April 4. There's a delay, because obviously they got to determine who actually died of COVID-19, which always struck me as odd. Because very rarely does somebody die of a very isolated situation, right? Even the death of George Floyd, right? There's debate on, if he were otherwise healthy, if that same situation would have killed him. Or if the situation hadn't have happened, how long George Floyd would have lived after that day anyway, right? There's always a lot of factors that lead to one's death, right? It's kind of like pinpointing, let's say I win the Computer Olympiad contest this year. What caused me to win, or which event in my life, right? I've accumulated a lot of education, obviously. Which class that I took, which interaction that I had where I learned something contributed to me winning. By how much, right? You'd have to wind back time and make that event not happen and see if I would still win, right? Just like the death. So I always find that number. I guess if you're using the same metric and you want to compare countries or compare over time, but then countries have very different lifestyles as well, right? So, all right, 4 is death.